Hey, it's time to do this tier list. Uh, for every game that's on here, there's 75, by the way. This will be a decently long video, I think. Uh, every game that's on here, just played it in general this year. There's not really any rule for what qualifies it being on here or not. Um, Only thing is that there are a lot of demos that I played at the start of the year during Steam's demo special showcase for like small games or whatever that I didn't include unless I played it, or I mean that I bought it. Um but anyways, without further ado, let's get going. So first we have Super Mario 3D World. um I will say I'm definitely going to be adding a ton of more tiers to this as we go, which in fact I'm going to add another one below really quick. I'll do two below. Just be sure, cuz I want to just want to make sure, you know. So, Mario 3D World. I'm going to uh put it here, yeah. It felt good. It was fun. I mean, I did I didn't 100% it. Like I didn't do everything with literally every single character cuz I just played through it once and like saw everything. So I did all the extra levels and stuff. Uh yeah, I mean, it was just fun. It felt good. It probably would have been more fun to me if I, not to say that's in a bad placement. It probably would have been more fun to me if I played with people instead of just alone. But yeah, it was very fun. I'm very glad I finally decided to play it this year. This is the first time playing it. Apex Legends. I'm gonna put it in the middle. I like Apex. It's just uh it's fucking hard, man. uh it's really mechanically, not only is it mechanically hard, but it's just fucking fast, dude. It's fast as shit, and it's hard to like react to the situation and do what you gotta do. And also aiming is hard, especially in this game, because not only because of everything I already said with it being fast, and then it's first person on top of that. Not that there's anything wrong with first person shooters inherently. It's just on top of all that, it's like Jesus Christ, this game is hard. Also, I have to make the game run like a piece of shit on my computer because 8 GB RAM does not cut it anymore. So yeah. Next we have Battlerite. Um. Man. It kind of feels bad putting it there, but because I'm not. I mean, whatever. Battlerite's fun as shit, but the game is dead as fuck. So unfortunately, you play against people that have never played the game before. This was my first time playing it this year as well, by the way. So I play against other people who never play it or do not have like general sense of games like this, because it's kind of like it's basically just like a MOBA, but it's like only the team fight part at the end of the game, you know? So everyone is just like well built or whatever. You're not playing like a fucking noodle. But it's fun. It's really fun, but no one plays the game anymore. So you play against people that have never played games like this before, that are just trying it out once with their buddies, or you play against people that are diehard fans and still love the game to death, and you just get fucking steamrolled. So it could be pretty annoying sometimes. Next we have Bowser's Fury. Put it. Maybe I kind of want to put it. I don't know. I'll put it here. Uh, I think it's extremely fun. It's just not very long. Like I did it in one sitting. It was like I say one sitting. Obviously, there's a lot of breaks in between, but it's like It's like 6 hours long. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty fun. I personally didn't hate the mechanic of Bowser constantly hopping in to fuck up everything and then going back out. I thought doing the fight with them, even if it wasn't usually that long every time, was pretty cool. Excuse me. And the music was fucking sick in it too, dude. I don't know. I thought it was pretty tolerable. I think the only thing with the game is that not only is it not very long, but the fact that they locked checkpoints, or not checkpoints, like fast travel behind post game is pretty shitty. So yeah, I think it warrants being in the middle. And we have Bloons Tower Defense 60. Holy shit. Okay, so I've had this game since like Christmas 2020. And I never played it because I got it gifted to me by a friend because he was like, "Hey, I will buy anyone who DMs me this game because it is literally $1 right now and I like it a lot. So just DM me." And I was like, "Oh, okay, free stuff is cool. I'll get it." I touched this game for the first time in June, and then I looked at my current playtime and it was like 8 hours, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, where did the day go, dude? This game is just fun as shit, dude. It's just simple. It's charming. It's fun. You have to use your brain a little sometimes. And they update it semi-frequently, like every, I don't know, maybe like every month or two. Well, not really every month. Saying a month is generous. Like every other month, probably. They update the game. And whenever they do, they add a ton of shit. And because of, if you play the game, because of the Paragons being in the game right now, that just means that there's going to be so many more updates because they only add like 1 or 2 Paragons per update. So it's just so much playtime and so much more to be added. So, and also the recent addition of not only boss battles but being able to do them in co-op is so awesome. I love it. And then next after that we have BTD Battles. This game fucking sucks. Jesus Christ. Well, I don't. This will be like. Hang on. This will be like played. This game fucking sucks, dude. I mean, listen, Battles is cool. Like the original Battles was cool, and this one could be, but there's just so many problems with the game that I'm not interested at all. Because they have the same like general XP system for towers where like if you haven't played BTD6, basically all your towers, there's like 3 routes for upgrades and there's up to 5 tiers in each route, right? And basically you play the game and you get XP for the towers and you can unlock the tiers. It's pretty simple. The higher the tier upgrade is, the more XP you're gonna need. So there's like longer waits between each upgrade. But the thing is that Battles is like competitive Bloons, essentially, with a lot of nuance in it. And yeah, they put that XP system in competitive Bloons. And even like if you grind the game so much, it's still pretty hard to actually get XP on your towers. Not only that, but the XP that you get isn't like universal for every tower, which would make sense to me, which I think they've also said they want to do eventually. But yeah, you can. And another thing about the game is that you choose a loadout of 3 towers and 1 hero. So there's probably, I don't know, if I had to randomly spit out a number, I'd say there's like at least 30 towers or something. Wait, no, that might be too much. Maybe like somewhere between 20 and 30. There's that many towers, and upgrading everything takes forever. And yeah, I don't know. Also, the game the servers fucking suck. And there have been so many times where I'm just watching someone play the game, and I don't know, maybe they do like Spike Storm spam, and the game just crashes, so they both lose. It's it's a pretty rough game right now. I don't know. It's not too great. Next we got Bumbo. What's Bumbo like here? I don't hate Bumbo. It's just a small game. It's a very small game. It's also, I don't know. The gameplay loop isn't amazing, and I kind of hate all the characters besides like one. Yeah, I don't know. Bumbo's like I guess like Candy Crush Isaac maybe, but like how do I say? It's got like weird abilities and stuff. It's cool for what it is, but it's like there's not only not a lot in the game. I don't think there was really meant to be a lot in the game. It was kind of served to be like a prequel to Isaac. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot in it. It's not the worst, but it's just Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Jesus. Put this in the middle. This kind of got tired of the. Actually, I don't know. I got pretty tired of the gameplay loop, honestly, dude. It's like, I don't know. I think some of the puzzles are pretty creative. I also, with games like that where it's like it's just generally relaxing to play, I like to do everything. Like I like to 100% the games. So when I did everything with Toad, and then I saw you have to do like another section that's like Toadette, and it's pretty much like the game, but again, it's kind of like new game plus essentially, right? And I was like, man, I have to do everything again. I don't think I'm very interested, honestly. I'm gonna pass. I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to do the Toadette section at all. And we got Clash Royale. Also, I'm gonna move this down. I don't know. Never mind. I'll leave it there. Clash Royale. Jesus. This game, man. I don't know. It could range from either of these three spots. I will put it. I would play it over Battles 2, so I'll put it there. Dude, I love this game. I think it's pretty fun, but it's just, Supercell, Sup Urk L. They like money. They want you to pay money. It's pretty pay to win. Nothing wrong with that if you have the money. Just not really my thing, because I don't really like spending money on this kind of thing. So, yeah. I don't know. It's fun. It's genuinely really fun. It's just, it feels terrible when you're playing ladder and you lose because of levels. Or because of, like, a specific level interaction. It's not really fun when that happens. Next, we got Crab Game. I will also put this in this tier. I promise not every game that I played this year fucking sucked. Crab Game is... It's kind of just flavor of the month. I don't know. It feel... For a game that was made... It's like the same guy that made Muck, and he did the thing where... Or they did the thing again where they make the game in like 24 hours, right? For a game that was made in that short of time, or that short of a time span, it's fun. It's really fun. It feels good. It's just, I kind of got bored of the gameplay loop, I guess. Because it's just, it's just the same games. I don't know. I just got a little tired of it. I couldn't really bring myself to want to play it again. I played it once after one of the updates, but, I mean, I don't know. I kind of just played it because of the loot box system for the irony. But, yeah. Next we have Dead Estate. Dude, okay. I was so looking forward to this game. This was one of the games I played during the Steam demo thing I mentioned earlier. This game was so fun. I thought it was really interesting, but I guess that was because the length of a run in the demo was incredibly short compared to the full game. Not to say that the full game's runs are very long. I just think that every single enemy in this game is so fucking annoying. And I don't think a lot of the weapons are very interesting to me. And I don't think what is it? What a time to forget while I'm recording, right? I'll probably think of it later. I don't know. Dude, the enemies just felt so frustrating. Like, I don't even think the game is particularly hard. It's just a lot of times it felt like it put me in a lot of situations where, like, I would get hit by something that felt like horse shit. I'm hitting pause. Why? Like, it's just, I don't know. There's so many things that just didn't make sense. There's a lot of enemies where it felt like, unless if there was, like, some kind of, like, bureau or, like, table or whatever that I could stand on or that I could jump onto, it just felt like it was, like, forced damage. And, you know, there are some floors where those enemies are especially frequent, and, you kind of just lose because you low roll. Also, there's this one guy that looks like George Bush, and he crawls extremely fast and has like an unreactable lunge, and I fucking can't stand him. That enemy in particular made me extremely fucking pissed. And I didn't even get all the characters in the game. I got all of them besides the ex-officer, which is like just beating the game on a loop run. I couldn't even bring myself to finish the loop run. I just kept getting so annoyed with like every single enemy in the game. I couldn't. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I think some of the character designs or like mechanics were interesting. The realtor sounded interesting. But a lot of the other characters, or Cordelia was cool too. I think having a unique weapon system like that is pretty neat in a game like that. I don't know. That game just fucking pissed me off the entire time. I just wanted to see everything, but I did everything but the loop. And then next we have Deblob. I'll put it here. It's fun. It's just relaxing. The music is awesome. It's kind of like a turn brain off, even though you do have to somewhat keep in mind the amount of time you spend, because there's like a time limit thing, but you have so many lives that it doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's just kind of a turn brain off, just cool, relaxing, charming game. I like it a lot. I don't know. There's not too much to say about it. I actually didn't finish it, which is why I was a little hesitant with putting it here instead of down here. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for that. Destiny 2. Man. I can't put it. No, I'll put it there. Okay, dude. I liked Destiny 2. Okay, so Destiny has a really satisfying gunplay. I think the classes all feel good. They're all cool looking. The supers are all just, again, it's all cool looking. It's fun. And the game's environments are beautiful. I think the game especially shines in their dungeons and raids. It's just, the problem is that when the game launched, I didn't buy this game at launch. When the game launched, it was a full-priced game. It was like $60, right? And then the game went free to play, but you still had to buy all the expansions anyway. And I learned this year that a lot of just general base content, but also a lot of the expansions have been vaulted. And my experience with the game was, when did I play it? It was like was like August, I think, when I was playing it. And they had a nightfall one week. You needed Forsaken, I think. And I was like, you know what? I'm playing the game a lot. I'll cave in. I'll buy it too. I bought the was it like Beyond Light or something? Whatever the most recent expansion was with that introduced the cryo subclasses. I was like, you know what? I'll buy that too. Fine. Because I think a lot of the guns or the exotics in there are cool and I want them anyway. So I bought it. I did the Nightfall for that week. And I had played so much of that game in the time that I had played it that I was like, you know what? After this week, I'm going to take a break anyway. And then during that off week, I also learned that Forsaken was going to be vaulted. And I was like, dude, I don't even want to play this game anymore. Like, I don't know. I just think vault... I mean, like, I get the reasoning, I guess. Because it's for, like, space management. Because the game is fucking huge. It takes up so much space. But it's for space management and making sure that the servers can run. Because it is a lot of shit, I guess. But I think it's fucking stupid that that's what the solution to the issue is. So, I don't know. I couldn't really fuck with that. No, I'm putting it down here. It fucking pissed me off, man. It's so unfortunate. I don't know. Money is money, I guess, but I just don't like spending that much on a single game. Cause there's so many expansions and they're about like $20 to $25 each. And then there's the season passes, which may as well be like a battle pass, which I don't even know why I bought to begin with. I don't know, man. It's frustrating how much went wrong with Destiny 2 for me. But the game still feels good. That's the only like redeeming quality. The game feels good and the dungeon and raid mechanics are cool, but too much money. I don't like it. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Put it here. I mean, it's just a nostalgic game for me. I still have my my DK bongos for the GameCube in my room. I've had those since I was a kid. So, I mean, I just hooked it up into my GameCube adapter and booted it up on Dolphin one day, and I was like, hey, this would be fun to play. And then, and even just thinking about it now, I could feel my wrists getting stiff. That is a lot of doing the same motion again and again and again, while also clapping in between that same motion. And then, because of how loud you kind of have to clap, it kind of hurts your palms after a while. And even, like, trying to just smack the side of the bongos isn't exactly the most comfortable thing. And it doesn't really help with your hands hurting. So, yeah. It's a charming game. It's a cool game. It kind of hurts to play. Next we got Don't Starve Together. Right here. This game's fun. I need more people to play it with. I don't like asking people for things or to play things generally. So, it's just fun, dude. It's survival, I guess horror, but I don't think it's that scary. Roguelike. And, I don't know. I just think it's charming. The music is amazing. I love so much of the game's music. It's kind of just trial and error. I'm sure once you've played the game enough, it's kind of just like you find where certain resources is and you can kind of just speed run which things you really need and where to locate things. And I mean, I'm sure people have like a system of all of that to do it, or like how to do all of those things like really easily. Because I know there's people that like, I've seen Twitch streamers, because the game has like Twitch integration for rewards. I've seen some like streams where people have like the entire world as like their home, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you even? I can't imagine myself ever doing that. Props to them for being able to figure stuff like that out, because to me, that stuff, I could never figure that out unless I just watched someone do it and just copied it. But then again, I always pause when I do stuff like that, and I think there's like a server or like a client pause mod maybe, but whatever. Whatever. Next we have Fall Guys. The Fall Guys up here. Dude, Fall Guys has picked up this year a lot. If this was last year, I would put Fall Guys like here. But because of, it's like season 6 right now, there's just a lot of mini games that are really fun. Of course, there's a lot of really shitty ones too, as it is. Just the game's incredibly charming. For a game that's, you really want to play it with friends, I don't know, I can hop on it by myself and play a few. I don't really mind. I think it's just fun to play. It just feels good. It's responsive. It's just the only time this game really makes me genuinely upset is if I get a mini game that's genuinely a piece of shit. So, I don't know. It's a fucking blast, and I am glad that I decided to pick it up again, or at least like play it again. Now we got Fortnite. Dude, I want to put it up here low key, but I'll put it here. Dude, okay, so man, that's gonna be a transition that's memed on. I played this game in like season 3 in when was that? Like 2017? 2018? I think 2017. I played it because friends in high school were like, dude, you would be so sick at this game. You're good at every game you play. It was weird. But they would always say shit like that to get me to play games that they like. And I was like, I don't know. I think the building stuff makes no sense to me. I don't really want to try it. And this was when I played it on Xbox One. So especially then, I'm like, man, that's a lot of buttons to press. I was not a fan. At that time, I was like, dude, this game blows down here. But I tried it again this year because of good old Guppy playing it a lot recently. And they're doing like a free gifts thing because it's December. So you can get like a lot of weapon skins or melee skins, or what is it, like music themes, loading screens, spray emotes, and whatever. They just give a lot of free stuff. Also, Polar Peely is fucking hilarious. I love him. Yeah, I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised with this game. I think just playing on PC, because it's way more comfortable to play games like this where you have to constantly switch between a lot of buttons, I think it just feels a lot more comfortable on keyboard, to me personally. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's charming. It's very charming. I'm pretty down with the gameplay loop, honestly. I think learning to do build stuff is pretty satisfying, honestly. I know a lot of people will not want to play it because of that, and that's fine. It's to each their own thing, pretty much. And I don't know. I think I will pick. I think right now, because I got the Battle Pass gifted to me by Guppy. I think I will be playing it a lot. But I can imagine it'll probably be like Fall Guys, where it's just really easy to just leave and just pick up again and just hop in and play a few rounds, Also, the Spider-Man gloves, the web slingers, that shit is awesome. That is absolutely genius. I wish it would stay forever, but that is unfortunately not the case. But they'll probably add in another fun gimmick, maybe, because I've heard that there's a bit of history of the gimmicks not being very fun, like the mechs, but I don't know anything about those anyways. Anyways, next we have Frog Smashers. What did I put it here? It's fun. It's just, it's a very short and kind of stale gameplay loop. It's pretty much like, you're a frog. It's a local multiplayer game. It's like free on itch.io. I would recommend playing it with a buddy on like Parsec, or if you have someone over and you just need a quick little party game to play. Pretty easy to just set up and play. It's just, you're a little frog. You have a bat, and you can also use your tongue to like pull people towards you and fling them. And you kind of just, it's pretty simple. You just hit them with the bat out of the map. And then I don't remember if it's stocks, like if it's multiple lives or not. I think it might be. But it's like a series of, I think, 5 rounds, and it's the same 5 maps back to back to back. Oh, that's right. There's potentially 6, I think. It's either 4-5 or 5-6 maps, and there's like a sudden death thing at the end based on like the set score. But oh wait, no. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's charming. It's cute. It's pretty fun. It's just the gameplay loop does get pretty stale after playing it for like an hour or two, honestly. But it's pretty funny to watch people play for their first time. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It just gets kind of stale after a while. Going Under. I will put it here. Ooh. So I played this game when it dropped. I think it dropped last year, right? I played it when it dropped, and I didn't play it for very long. I think I played a demo of it before I played it finally dropping. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I guess I just wasn't very impressed initially with how much changed between the demo and the full game. But I think for a game that plays the way it does, I don't think there's many games that gets it as right as Going Under does. It feels good. Man, that is also something I've said a ton. I gotta spice it up, huh? It feels fluid. The weapons, some of them kind of fucking suck to use. There's a lot of meme weapons, and that's fine. But, you could get some pretty funny builds, too, with the, I don't know if they're items or, like, perks or whatever they call them. But they're just, like, items, as it is in roguelikes and whatever. It's cool, and I like when games, they have, like, a Slay the Spire Ascension or Risk of Rain 2 Eclipse system where it's like either particularly more difficult run, or what this game does is that you do all 3 sections back to back, and then there's a final boss at the end after all that isn't the base game's final boss, which I think is good, honestly. It's fun with doing that. I always like that system. And I think there's 8 tiers. I actually never finished it, and I probably should at some point. But I'm happy with how the game has turned out so far. And I'm not sure if they want to do, I think they want to work on another project, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added, I think if they did more content updates, they would probably just add more items and stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it for that. Golf with your friends. I will also put this here. It's just a fun game to pick up and go. Another multiplayer game that's just fun to pick up and just get a bunch of friends. I feel like everyone just has this game. And if they don't, and a bunch of people are like, yo, I'll hop on golf. The people that don't have it are pretty likely to buy it. Because it's just fucking mini golf, dude. Come on. It's mini golf, and some of the courses are crazy as shit. And there is mod support. Like, there's a Steam Workshop, and there's like a map editor and whatever. I think a lot of the maps personally kind of suck that are made on there, which isn't very kind to say, but whatever. I don't care. I just don't enjoy a lot of the modded maps. But it's just mini golf, dude. I don't know. It's mini golf. It's fun as shit. But you do get bored sometimes. But there's also so many options for how you want to play the game. Like, you can do all kinds of fucked up shit to the balls. You can add jumps. There's like, I think there's like a speed boost. There's different types of holes. Like, you could make it like a hockey net with a goalie in front of it. You can make it a basketball hoop. There's probably a lot more that I'm not even remembering. It's just, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of different ways to play the game. Oh, and then there's even the option to turn on and off collision. I don't remember if I said that there's items or not already, because my memory is that good. There's just a lot of different ways to have a session play out. And I mean, honestly, just doing one course, it's like the perfect amount of time for the multiplayer game that it is, to where like you could just play one course and then just be done. Next we got Goose Duck. The irony of it all is that I have Goose Duck on here and I haven't played Among Us this year, and I haven't played it at all. Goose Duck, I will put this here. I personally believe it's kind of just, I don't know, it's Among Us with a little bit less charm, but because I think the crewmates are fucking cute. I think they're way more cute than the geese and the ducks. But yeah, it's kind of just Among Us, but a little bit less charming. But the role options are so good. If you've watched or played Town of Salem, there are a ton of roles that play like the wide variety of roles from that game, and I think there's like a lot more unique ones, maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't watched or played Town of Salem in like, Jesus, it's 2021, probably like 6 years at this point, honestly. It's been a while since I've heard anything from that game or seen anything about that game. But I don't know. It just has a lot of roles, which I think is kind of what Among Us needs. It also, I think it had 15 player lobbies before Among Us did, which is a big up in its favor. It's just the problem is that if you ever try to tell anyone to unironically try and play this game, they are always going to say, why would I play this over Among Us? So the game is probably like dead, but I think the devs still update the game and add a lot. Next we got Gunfire Reborn. I really want to put it there. I'll put it here. I'll put it there. It's fun. It feels good. There's not a lot of variety, but it just feels very good to shoot things. And the guns are cool and charming. And the classes play differently enough to where it's fun enough to put it like up here over a lot of these games. And I don't know. I think it's just fun. I mean, I just wish that there was a lot more diversity to the gameplay, because the only diversity in the game, I guess, is like, it's like traditional roguelike stuff. So weapon drops, scroll drops, which are essentially just items, and then I guess like vault rooms and like what the challenges are going to be. And then there's like a pool of 2 bosses per section, and I don't know. They added another section for the game's 1.0 update, but I can't say I'm particularly pleased with how they added or implemented the new zone, because it's like a standard like 3 or 4 sections before the final boss. But when you get to the chest at the end of the level with the goblet, you only can choose one thing. It is just the one thing you see, and that is it. Unless you're doing like an ascension run and you're able to re-roll your golden goblet rewards, you get what you get, and that's that. And it's kind of annoying, but I guess I get it because you're so strong at that point of the game generally. But it also kind of sucks because the final boss for the game is kind of shitty. Like, it's pretty rough to deal with because, I don't know, it's kind of just like fast. Like, it's too fast and too big for what it does, I feel. And a lot of the attacks don't feel fair. And it has a second phase that's literally just a DPS check. And if you fail the DPS check, you just fucking eat shit. So it's kind of lame for that. Then we got Enter the Gungeon. Put it here. Gungeon's cool. I like Gungeon. I think the characters are charming, even though I mostly just play the bullet because he's fucking cute. And he's just a little guy. Come on, he's so cute. Look at him. I think the game is hard. I don't think everyone will agree. I feel like some people don't really agree with that. But I think the game is hard if you're doing Lich, and if you're trying to loop and get the what's the name? The Gunslinger? I actually didn't get him. I really should have done that. I think it's good at what it does. There's some bosses that fucking suck. The first one that I can think of it's like Cthulhu or something, isn't it? It's like the Cthulhu cult guy that has like the bells and whatever. That boss fucking sucks. Yeah, I think the guns are cool too. Obviously, I mean that's a pretty important part considering it's called Enter the Gungeon. The bosses are just satisfying overall, aside from a few shitty ones like I mentioned. It's just cool. I like the game a lot. There's not too much to say. Okay, I'm going to skip these two, and I think I'm gonna skip this one too. I'm gonna have a lightning round for everything in this tier because there are a lot of games that I played for less than an hour or about an hour because I got bored or I just lost interest, which is the same thing, or I just got, or like I couldn't run the game well, or I don't know. Maybe I saw it was like pay to win or something. I don't think I have any games on here that are like that. But then we have Just Act Natural. I'm gonna put it here. When I played it, there wasn't very much content. In fact, there was very little content, and the game was a little bit glitchy. But it's just oh shit, what's the name of the game? It's Spy something. It's like there's a sniper and people have to blend in with the crowd while also collecting things. But the game is also extremely cute. So I like it for that. But there was not very much content at all when we played, and we only played like a few rounds and just kind of called it. Killing Floor 2. Put it here. Putting it on the same tier as these feels bad. I'm gonna put it there. It's just not too fun for me because I don't have literally anyone to play it with, and my social anxiety says no to queuing pubs because I know sometimes in games like this people like to grief because they are bored, or people like to leave when one thing goes wrong, and it's always like not a very big deal. Yeah, I just don't like playing around that kind of stuff in a game like this where I can very easily play it by myself. But I think the guns feel good on some classes. I don't majority of the classes, even though of course my favorite class is medic, and I don't have people to play with, so I just don't play it. The slow-mo stuff is cool too. It feels good to rack up a ton of headshots or just weak spot kills during that. I that's the unique thing about Killing Floor that I like a ton. Nightclub Plus. I'm also gonna put this here, dude. I have a ton of games here. I don't feel like a lot of these games are on the same. Hang on. We're gonna disrupt everything. We'll do this D minus. All right. What am I doing? Hang on. Stop. Okay, tier maker. Make this D plus, and then we add a row below, and then this is also D. And then very quickly before we get to Nightclub, I'm gonna put it back. Is here. All right. Before I go on to that, I'm going to do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. And we'll do this. I will probably change up. Jesus. You know what? Oh, I'm gone. We're gonna change up a lot of the tiers here. There we go. All right. Now that that's settled. All right, now Nightclub Plus. Put it here because it's kind of like it kind of blends in with these because these are kind of like flavor of the months minus Bumbo because I get incredibly bored of Bumbo pretty quickly. Nightclub Plus. I mean, the gameplay is cool, but it also, I think being hit feels fucking god awful, and I get pretty frustrated with that. And I don't know. I mean, I like what it does. I like the passives. I like the weapons. I love the axe. Surprise, surprise. That's like the heavy player weapon. That's about it for that. I mean, there's not too much I have to say about the game. I don't know. I got pretty bored with it pretty quickly. Now we have League of Legends. Oh, God. This is the part I'm dreading because the losers who like to shit on games for no reason and have not played them, or like to shit on MOBAs in particular because their brains are too small to understand it, are gonna get a kick out of this section. And then the people that I know that like League, because a ton of the people that I talk to every day love this game to death, are probably not going to agree with my reasoning. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to put it like here. And I know I said all of that and I put it like in the middle of the pack, right? But I don't know, dude. I can't. I hate the way it feels. But I think the character designs for kits are very interesting. But also because it's like top down and it's like it's pretty zoomed out, I would say. Unless you're zooming so far in to where you can't see anything for some reason. It's kind of hard to tell what a lot of the human characters are supposed to be. Like, I feel like they're kind of samey. And I think people will not agree or not like that. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of the characters, there's like a lot of the same like character archetypes in terms of designs. Like the Yordles and whatever, dude, I could mix all of them up so easily, besides Vigar. But, and then there's, listen, I just like the Scrimblow Bimblows, okay? Whatever. I am that exact person, and I will stand by that. I just like that stuff more, because I think they stand out more to me. I think characters like Zack and Dr. Mundo and Ornn and like all those like very distinctly different looking characters, to me, are a lot easier to point out versus like Caitlyn and like Misfortune and shit. And like, okay, well, people are gonna make jokes about me hating women now, so anyways, Left 4 Dead 2. We'll put it, I don't want to put it here, low-key. I'll put it here. Left 4 Dead 2 is going to always be a timeless classic. I think it's aged incredibly well for how much nothing has been added to the game. Even though last year in November, I think, they added a modded campaign to like the official game, which I think that kind of stuff is always so cool. It's got to be incredibly cool to make something like that for a game that you love, and then the devs are like, hey, we want to put this we want to make this official. I always think that stuff is really cool. But dude, this game, mods, you could do quite literally anything you want to this game with mods, and it's beautiful with what you can do with mods, honestly. The things that you like, the models that people make for like the special infected or just guns in general, or like literally anything in general, like it's all so creative. There's a lot of stuff that's just funny, there's a lot of stuff that's cool, there's a lot of stuff that's stupid, there's a lot of shit that's unfinished, but that all just adds to it, and I love it so much for that. And I could unless it's Johnny asking, I could always ask or hop on and play a fucking campaign or something, dude. It's just so fun, and it's incredibly hilarious every time, I feel. Next, we got Lethal League Blaze. I will put... I don't want to put it at the same tier as that. I'll put it here. Lethal League Blaze is fun. I should play it more. I mean, that's another common thing. It's a lot of the same transitions. A lot of games that I'm saying I haven't played much. And a lot of saying, bear with me. I'm doing this all in one swing. Lethal League Blaze is fun. That is also another thing. Jesus. Anyways. I just like Switch, and I like... Ironically, he's like my favorite character, but I always forget his name. It's the dude with the plug for his hands, or the plugs for like hands, and he's got like the hat. He's just cool. I don't know. I like what they did with this game and what they added compared to the first Lethal League. I think the addition of double jumps is very nice. Actually, I don't remember. I don't think there was an HP system in the old one, right? It was just if you got hit by the ball, you died, right? Or you lost a stock. And then the addition of throws, it definitely adds a lot more depth to the RPS scrambles. Fuck you, Guppy, for always forcing annoying rock, paper, scissors situations every time we play. I also think, as a casual thing, it's a much needed thing, because it's generally just like, guy hit the ball, stand in different part of the room, and hope that you guess the angle right during the like hit stop and whatever. Do I really even want to rank Lil Beans, dude? I kind of want to put it down there. Actually, I'll change this to one when I'm done. Do I want to rank all these? I may as well because I'm talking about it. I'm gonna... Like, I think it's even less fun than the Flavor of the Month thing, but I guess it's not as frustrating as all three of these games. I'll put it here. So lolbeans.io is it's like an itch.io, not an itch.io. It's just another .io game, but it's like obviously it's just Fall Guys. But I think so it's only races, and even the finales are races, which I think that being the only thing I'm not a very big fan of. Excuse me. I am not very big on there's just not a lot of variety, which is not very fair to say because this is relatively new compared to Fall Guys, right? But I also just think it doesn't have the charm that Fall Guys does. And I think the little screams that the beans do when they're falling or whatever is extremely annoying. Also think the lack of customization. Well, no, there's a lot of customization. That's actually not fair to say. I actually am going to scrap that point. I think the customization, I will say, it will probably not have what Fall Guys has anyways. But I don't know. I couldn't. It feels like Fall Guys without any soul, dude. I don't know. I think they definitely do have a lot of very good courses. I think they do a lot of cool stuff. While I also think there's a lot of courses that are fucking dog shit. Like the space one, where it's like a hexagon that's like rotating as you're going around it. I think it's cool that that's like a unique mechanic, but I also think that course, the way it is designed, is incredibly frustrating and pretty shitty. Next we got Melee. I will put Melee here. Will I put it here? I'll put it here. Melee's fun. Problem is that it's hard. It's very hard. I don't like hard things sometimes, unless I'm extremely hooked onto it, which for Melee, I play it a lot for like a couple of weeks, and then I stop playing it, and then I'm like, man, this game feels like fucking shit. Or I play against a Spacey, and I get pretty frustrated with Spacey pressure, because, you know, Spaceys are just fucking broken. Melee feels good when you're winning. When you're getting mopped, it feels pretty shitty. Oh boy. The greatest disappointment of the fucking year. Hey, God. Dude, honest to God, row below, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? What happened? What happened, Ludo? What happened? Man, this game should have been so good. Ludosity making another platform fighter? Making a platform fighter with Nickelodeon characters? It's like a match made in heaven for them, dude. This is right up their alley. But the game looks like shit. It's not fun. Why does every single character... Not every single character. 80% of the characters have the same fucking up tilt. Why does every single character generally have the same game plan? What's up with the blocking system? Why does everything feel like old Rembert, where it has no hit stun but a ton of knockback, so you just fucking mash a move to go flying back to the stage? People that play Slap think that mashing a move that you can clutch is like the same exact thing when you talk to them about it, but then they haven't played the game, or they're just speaking in hyperbole, or they're just speaking out of frustration because they've played the game a lot. It's so frustrating with how fucking awful this game turned out to be. Without any exaggeration, this is, without a doubt, the biggest disappointment of the fucking year. It's incredibly frustrating. It's so fucking disappointing, man. It could've... It could have been so good. Dude, if they actually reskinned this game to just be Slap City but Nick IPs, this game would be so fucking good. But it's incredibly rushed. The alts are embarrassing because most of them are just a fucking hat. And don't even get me started with stuff like the fucking core alt. That is a fucking joke. And I can't believe they have the gall to actually even publish that shit at this point. It feels like a fucking joke. And I think the worst part about this game is that nobody wants to shit on the Nickelodeon game. Because it's a fucking Nickelodeon game, dude. Who gives a shit? But with someone like me who has been a huge Slap City fan since 2018, since like May 2018, like 2 months after the game dropped. Like, it's so frustrating to see that, like, it feels like Ludosity hasn't learned very much over the years with Slap City. And what's even worse than all that is all these motherfuckers coming out of nowhere saying that they love Slap City, but I've never seen them play this game before. And it hurts so much when these guys, these fucking fake posers, fucking come in and are like, oh, dude, this game really is just Nick, or it's just Slap, but with Nick characters. It doesn't fucking feel remotely like Slap at all. It's such a it's a huge flag to me that this fucking bozo has not played the game when they say shit like that. Or they have not played the game at all. Or they just suck ass at it. It's so fucking frustrating. Everything about this game is incredibly frustrating. Anyways, next to Nuclear Throne. Put it here. Ooh. Yeah, I'll put it here. It's another game that I kind of just play every once in a while. I play it a good amount, and then I put it away. I still have not done, like, half the endings, I guess. Like, I think the only endings I've done are, like, the standard 2 for, like, sitting on the throne. Actually, no, oh, yeah, that and then, like, doing a very simple... No, I don't even think that's an ending, actually. I don't think doing it's Mother or something, right? The boss that you fight when you do a loop. I don't think that's an ending in itself, right? But anyways, yeah, I have not done a lot of this stuff in this game. I still haven't done the true ending and the office or whatever. But it's I like the character designs a lot. All the characters are very unique. This game is a fucking pain in the balls. It is incredibly stressful. But shooting things feels amazing. God, the music is so good too. It's cool. It's fun. I like it a lot. I'm not too huge on loop games. I would probably have it higher, if not. Next we got Paladins. Put it here. Listen, Paladins is fucking sick, but it has such a negative, I guess, like stigma around it because of most of the people that play the game just being like, this game is just Overwatch, but bad. But it actually is not exactly like Overwatch. And I know I'm sure people that have still not played the game will probably not give a shit about this section, but I think it genuinely is, I think it's way better than Overwatch, dude. I don't know. I think there's so much room for expression, because I think, so for the people that have not played this game or don't know anything about the game, there's like a loadout system that you can make for your characters, and it's basically like, you can choose from 5 cards that are all just like perks. They're like passives and whatever. Like if you have like a dash, it might be like, oh, it'll reload 2 bullets every time you do the dash, or like it goes a little bit faster, or like you can lower the cooldown, or each time you do it, it can heal you. But then on top of all of that, what makes it especially interesting is that there's a point system in it. And basically, every card on its own is 1 point, right? And you can choose to add up to a total of 5 points on each card, but you have to manage those points for a total of 15 points, which I think is one of the most genius things I've ever played with, because there's just, like I said earlier, there's so much room for expression. And then on top of all that, there's talents that you can choose from 3 at the start of a match. And they're kind of just like huge passives. So like, I don't know, there might be like, there's a character, Barrack, who, he's Torbjorn. He can make his shotgun like a single slug. He can make his shields a lot stronger. Like, I have a ton more HP. And I think it lowers the cooldown for it too significantly. Or you can make it so that the turrets, I think, they get stronger and have a way better cooldown. Because they're already on a pretty short cooldown. So having them like up way more frequently is pretty big. There's just a lot of stuff like that. And I think generally, for the most part, the character designs, like in terms of kits, are just a lot more healthy than Overwatch in my experience. Like, listen, Makoa, the Roadhog, he is, I would rather fight 100 Makoas than fucking one Roadhog. Because Roadhog, when he hooks you, he just fucking gimps you if you're not a fucking tank. It is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen in a hero shooter like this. Whereas Makoa in this game, his gun is like a cannon, and it's a skill shot, but it doesn't do that much damage at all. So when Makoa gets a hook, he has to have the team follow up. So Makoa actually has to like speak to his team while actively playing the game, whereas Roadhog just kind of feels like he does his own thing and just tries to gimp people for fucking existing. There's a lot of examples like this in a lot of the characters from in Paladins, that when they're compared to their Overwatch quote unquote counterparts, I think their designs are way more healthy. Next we got Phasmophobia. This is another flavor of the month. It's just flavor of the month. I think the game's honestly kind of a piece of shit, but I think the stories of a run with people can be incredibly funny. Talking about like how someone got griefed by another person, or talking about how someone died to the rest of the team after a hunt, I think that is like the funniest shit in the world. But I also appreciate that it's not shitty jump scare horror, because I think jump scare horror it's like the lowest common denominator right now. It's like everything, and I think it's just shit. Also, one sec, I'm gonna turn on the fan. It's hot as shit in here. Actually, I'll turn that down. Okay. Alright. Next we got P+. I'm actually just gonna put it right here. I'll put it slightly below melee. So, thing with P+ is that I like the characters generally. I probably haven't played against a lot of the characters at a competent level that make a lot of melee players hate the game. But also, I understand everyone that doesn't want to play this game because of the lack of rollback. So that's kind of where I am on the comparison between the two. One has rollback and the other doesn't. But the other also lets me play the heavies at a reasonably viable level. Whereas, like, if you pick fucking Bowser in Melee, you're just fucking trolling, or you're playing someone new. Next we got Pokemon Unite. Put it up here. Dude, this game is fun, but Jesus Christ, it could be fucking frustrating, man. This is a love-hate relationship game for me, because it's Pokemon, and it's like the gameplay generally is fun because I like how fights that aren't the end of the game can play out. I think when you're fighting in lane, when it's not just everyone spamming their fucking ult and buddy barriered out of their gourds, I think it's pretty interesting. But I think items like that make the game incredibly toxic. I also think, excuse me, I think the end of the game is pretty toxic because it feels like leads don't matter a lot. Like, you could be... So if you don't know how the game works, it's like there's like 2 nets at the top and the bottom of each lane. There's 2 nets, and then there's like the center net at home base. It's not a matter of getting to the center net and destroying it. It's just a matter of how many points your team as a whole scores. So there's not the most individualism in the game, which is already kind of tough. But sometimes you could do a lot of shit on your own, just if you're playing the jungle or something. But anyways, the first 2 nets, they break after 50 points are scored on them. And then the second 2 nets are broken after 80 points are scored on them. And, at the end of the game, in the last 2 minutes, games are 10 minutes long, by the way, so it's very easy to just pick up and go, right? At the end of the game, in the last 2 minutes, there's double points. So dunks that, like whenever you score, it's just doubled, right? Which is pretty shitty because you could have a massive lead and you could have taken out like all of their nets. But then, the Baron of the game, I guess, Zapdos, or I guess right now because it's winter, Articuno, spawns, and basically, the team that kills, Articuno or Zapdos, all of the nets you can instantly dunk. And also everyone on the team gets 15 points, because I think they nerfed it from 20 to 15, which isn't very much. But yeah, when you're doing the math, right, if you've taken out all of their other nets, right, that's like 50-50, 80-80, it's like 260 points, right? And it's a 5v5 game. And if the other team gets zap, then they all have 50 points, are running it down to the, like, imagine it like with that scenario I was giving, right? On top of that, imagine like they also had not scored a single shot on you, right? So they're at 0. It's 0 to 2, or excuse me, 0 to 260. They get zapped because they fucking burger flipped for it. Because for some reason Zapdos just has like no HP, and it's like it's not strong. And there's a lot of characters that can actually just solo it. They burger flip for Zap in the fucking 5v5 mosh pit. They get it, and now they all they just run right by you, because whenever you use your ults in that game, you also get a speed boost, which is fucking stupid. They all get a speed boost. They're all running it down. They all each duck 100, and then they just back to their home net. They just all scored 100, so now they have 500, and you have 280. But there's obviously, it's not very fair to always imagine it as that all the time, because there's usually not a lot of nuance in these scenarios. But even then, unless you kill like 3 of the people on their team before or after they get zapped, before they score, they're gonna get the lead over you. And as the game progresses, you can hold more points up to 50. And you start, I think you can only hold 20 at the start of the game. And dunk times take very long. And there's a lot of other... Well, hang on, wait. I'm thinking of too many different things at once. With dunking takes too long when you have a lot of points, because you're just going to have a lot of points because of whether you're killing people or just playing the game and killing mobs, because everything is going to give a lot of points at that phase of the game. So when you're at like the end of the game, like once everyone does their scores after getting Zapdos and they start playing defense, like it feels virtually impossible to actually score after that point. So it kind of just feels like whoever gets Zap and has the higher score kind of just wins. Unless they just fucking throw and they die for Zap somehow. Like everyone just dies for it. Or like you just zone them out successfully somehow by either poking them so hard or they just straight up die, or you just CC them for long enough, which another thing that's stupid about Zap as well is that I think the debuff on the towers lasts for 20 seconds? 30 seconds maybe? It's a long time. So even after they do their initial 100, it's pretty easy for them to just ignore you, do another like random mob in the middle of the lane or on the sides, and score again. And I know this is funny that I'm criticizing the hell out of this game and I put it in A tier. But I promise I love this game a lot, because I think a lot of the things that I think the scoring stuff is pretty interesting. I just think they need to work on it. But I also will probably not set my expectations for that. And also hitting abilities on a majority of the characters feels good. And the fact that there's no type advantages is great, because this game would suck ass if there actually was type advantages. And I think the held item stuff, aside from the very obviously toxic broken items like Score Shield, which makes it so whenever you're trying to score, if they hit you, generally it interrupts your scoring because there's like a wind up to it, right? Generally when you get hit while winding up, it interrupts it and you have to start over again. But there's an item called Score Shield where it gives you a shield and makes you CC immune during that wind up, so you can't even just be like CC'd away from it. If the damage you take is on that shield, then it interrupts it. But another thing that they also didn't think of is that whenever you use your ult in that game, you get a shield, and it can stack with that shield. So there are some characters that get a massive shield, like Wigglytuff ult or like Crustle ult, and yeah, they could just kind of run up to a net, and unless you literally just 1v5 them, like they're gonna score no matter what. It's just that massive. It's so much damage to go through. But I like a lot of the other items are really interesting. I just think if the toxic items were gone or nerfed significantly to just be memes, and the interesting items were buffed, it would be great. I think a lot of the characters' kits are fun and they're satisfying. I think the old stuff is fine with giving shields and a speed boost. I just think it also needs to be toned down, but they probably won't, because this is a Pokemon MOBA on the Nintendo Switch and mobile devices. So it's very fun and it has a lot of charm because it's Pokemon and it feels good. Another thing with the game is that it also has a bad stigma, not only because it's a MOBA, but people kind of blew the pay-to-win stuff out of the water, and it's pretty unfortunate because, like, you can upgrade items with a currency, right? Or I guess, like, another, like, subcategory of items that you have to buy with currencies and whatever. But that you're not gonna really lose a game or a fight because of an item difference or an item level difference, because they're not impactful enough for that to be an issue, in my opinion. Because I remember, like, on the first day it came out, me and the boys, we played against Shofu's team, or his 5-stack, on his stream, and we all had, like, fucking, I don't know, like, the max level items are, like, 30, and our items were, like, maybe 5, 10 or something, right? Bro, we fucking mopped Shofu and his boys, dude. It wasn't light. It was light work, bro. It wasn't that hard at all. It's just, unfortunately, it has been blown out of the water because a lot of YouTubers, like Critical and whatever, just seeing that it is a currency that you can also buy with the premium currency of the game, and be like, dude, that's pay to win. Holy shit. So, I don't know. I think it genuinely is extremely fun. It's very short, so it's very easy to just pick up and go and just fucking leave and whatever. I like it a lot, and I hope it does better, but we will see with time. Rayman Raving Rabbids. I'll put it here because it's kind of like this is unfortunately what has happened to Rayman, but I mean, I played through it again this year, and it's not bad, but it is not good. It's kind of just, I don't know. It's kind of like very strange, like WarioWare, but they also reuse a lot of mini games, or like a lot of like, excuse me, they reuse like a lot of base designs for mini games. Like it's kind of like a chapter thing, I guess, where it's like there's like 4 mini games, and then there's like a longer mini game that's kind of just like a weird shooter segment. But in every single section, there's like a rhythm game one, and it gets pretty old. Oh, and then at the second half of the game, they use all of the same songs, but again, and it's kind of just like harder, I guess, but not that harder or that much harder. I don't know. It wasn't. I'm not very big on them doing that. It was a very okay game, but I think the Rabbids are kind of funny, so it saves it from being like that. So there's not like zero redeeming qualities, and some of the games are pretty fun. Anyways, oh baby, we need a power gap. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you know anything about me, this is the cream of the crop. No, I don't do that. The king. Listen, dude, this game, Isaac was already my favorite game ever. Well, I shouldn't say ever since I picked it up, but after like playing it for a while, I was like, man, there's never going to be another game that itches or that scratches all the itches that I like, or that I like about this game. And with the Repentance update, it is unreal how much content, not only that they've added, but again, much like Left 4 Dead 2, where they have that campaign in the official game, they took the entirety, almost the entirety. They scrapped a couple of the items, but they took pretty much the entirety of a community mod that at the time was absolutely like rated as the best mod or something, and it's just it was constantly talked about. They got the guys that made that, and they're like, hey, we want to put this in the official game. And that's awesome, because everything about Antibirth is amazing, and I'm so glad that it's a part of the official game. And then, on top of all of that, they added another route, which has by far the coolest final boss, or bosses, in the entire game. And the music that they've added, I mean, in general, Isaac music, to me, even in Rebirth, which I don't think a lot of people agree with, is really good. But so much of the music that they added in Repentance is so good. I love so much of the music in this game. So much. And, I guess it's a spoiler, but the game's been out for fucking 6 months. It was March 30... Was it March 1st or March 31st? Anyways, it's been out for long enough. I don't care. They added, like a B-side to every single character. So when this update dropped, there were 17 characters total, because they added 2 new characters to the update. Then they added their take on B-sides, which are tainted characters. And they're all characters that they kind of play similar to their normal counterpart, but they have like a big emphasis on a certain gimmick that is usually generally tied to the normal character's gimmick. But sometimes they do like very different takes on the characters. And so many, like, the tainted characters are definitely like the best part of this game now at this point by far. They are so much more interesting and so much more fun than all of the base characters. And especially like some characters, like my favorite character in this game easily is Tainted Keeper. And basically with Tainted Keeper, to sum it up short, because I don't want to drag, because I could talk about this game for fucking ever. Normal Keeper, he's a weird challenge character where he has money for health instead. And instead of like having like hearts where it's like half heart, whole heart, and empty, it is just coin, no coin. So it's like taking a whole heart of damage every time. Like I said, he can only regen it back by picking up money. And he has pretty shitty stats all around, but he has like an above average damage output, and he has what is it? He has a triple shot, which is always great. Like he doesn't have no redeeming qualities, but he's just straight up a challenge character, right? And then Tainted Keeper, his thing is generally similar, but he has 2 coins instead of 3 coins, or I guess you can get the 3rd coin unlocked with Keeper, but Tainted Keeper only has 2 coins instead. And his thing is that he has a quad shot, but doesn't have, he has like average stats generally aside from like luck. And then every time he kills something, they drop money, and every single item in the game must be bought with money. So I just think, because the character, the way it plays is like, you know, you kind of have to play pretty close, because the money that drops does despawn very quickly. So you have to play up close. You got to bob and weave with enemies, and you can have like god runs with the character, but you are still extremely frail, and it's pretty hard to say a lot of the time that a run is won, because it is so easy to just randomly get gimped, or just get, you know, you just mess up in a really long boss fight. I think there's so many more examples of like this, and I could talk about so many of the tainted characters and make this video like 3 hours long. It's already an hour, like almost an hour and a half, and there's still a lot to go through. So, I love this game. I don't think there's ever going to be a game like Isaac for me again. Next, we got Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2 is awesome. It just feels great. The movement is solid. I think what Risk of Rain does that I like a lot compared to a lot of roguelikes is that you can really easily just stack a bunch of the same item, which is that's like kind of one of the main things about the game, is that it's very easy to just like stack up on an item, and that's kind of like what they want you to do. And I like all the characters are very distinct in gameplay and how you want to build them. And what is it? They all have like interchangeable abilities that you can unlock, which is always fun, and it also lets them play very differently. Since the game is at 1.0 now, I'm very glad that they added an actual ending, because like I mentioned with Nuclear Throne, I'm not too big on games that are just loop. So I'm glad that they added like a concrete ending that you can go to. I mean, there technically was a secret ending that you could do, but whatever. I don't. Fuck off. And with the game being at 1.0, they still want to update the game a lot. They still want to do like a lot of excuse me. They still want to do a lot of like DLCs, and I absolutely can't wait for that because they are probably going to keep bringing back like old characters from the first game that didn't make the cut to 2, which is what a lot of people that play this game have wanted for a long time, and I'm glad that that will like happen for them. Next we got Rivals of Aether. Fuck this game, bro. Can't put it on the same tier as the maybe I could. I don't like it as much as these. Yeah, fuck this game, bro. There's too many small things about Rivals that I don't like mechanically, and most of the characters make me want to fucking spoon my eyes out and fucking fling them. Fuck this game, bro. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. No, I can't do that. It's not that fucking terrible. There's at least like cool workshop characters and stuff, which a lot of the Rivals people I talk to will not be happy to hear that. But anyways, I don't care. Next we got Robo Quest. I'll put it here because the game is not finished by any means, and there's not that much content. I haven't played for quite a while. I think I last played it in March, but it's interesting. It feels pretty good. It's kind of just it's a first-person shooter roguelite, I think. Yeah, I would say it's more of a roguelite. Well, I don't know. It's got elements of both roguelike and roguelite. There's 4 classes. They didn't very distinctly play differently, but they had like unique enough abilities and stuff, and I think they have like a preference towards weapons and whatever, which is fine. They each have like a special melee. Or, no, they have, like, a melee ability, but some of them, like, don't melee. And then they have, like, their hero ability, I guess. And, I mean, they're all pretty fun. The game feels pretty good. It just needs more stuff. So, also, I'm not going to order these tiers. That would make this video take so much longer. We're already over an hour and a half in. Alright, skipping all these. We'll do rounds next. Alright, rounds. We'll also put this here. Rounds is pretty cool. It's like a 2D platformer, I guess. But they label it as a roguelike, but it's pretty much like I think it's a 1st to 5, but you could probably edit those settings. But it's basically like you and one other dude, you shoot each other. The guy who kills the other guy wins the round. He gets a point, 1st to 5. But the guy who loses can choose between like 5 cards, which are just like perks, and generally they can be pretty unique, but they can all do a bunch of different things. But it's extremely funny, some of the builds that you can get sometimes. It's just the problem for me right now is that I don't think there's a lot of map diversity. I think some of the upgrades are kind of horse shit, and by horse shit I mean like they're fucking broken. And there's not too many perks. It kind of just got stale for me, but I do think it was very fun. Next we got Rumbleverse. This technically is a a one and done for me, but I liked it enough and played it enough. So, I'll put it here. So, Rumbleverse is I don't think it's amazing, but like it's just really fun. Like I don't really care that it's that bad. Like it's kind of like Fortnite for me, I guess, where like if you're taking it super seriously, then a lot of the gimmicks in the game are like nightmare fuel, right? But I don't really care. I just think it's fun for that. Like I just think the game is fun. I think the only thing that does kind of suck about the game is that the sprinting is kind of just like dashes in a direction, which doesn't feel that good. And then to actually like kill somebody in a one-on-one, you have to make like 5 successful reads in a row. And because that takes an incredibly long time, you are almost never actually going to 1v1 somebody without getting third-partied. Which, to be honest, it's kind of funnier that way, because I think fights just breaking out into a giant, like, wrestling mosh pit is the funniest shit. And I can't wait for the game to actually drop. It probably won't be that great, but I just think it's, I don't know, I think it's funny. I think it's charming with what it does. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan. They have like a weird stat upgrade thing in game. Well, it's not like an outsider thing. It's like you do it in a match and whatever, and you get like stuff to upgrade your character. I'm not too big on that, but yeah. It's just fun. It's fun. It's hilarious. It's very chill. I think if they try to go to a competitive route with this game, it's gonna suck ass. And I think anyone who will try to play this game competitively will not have a fun time. Next, we got Street Fighter V. I'll also put this here. Street Fighter V is fun. It feels... Okay, I need to stop. Okay, so I like Street Fighter V. It's just, I've never played a traditional fighter and actually trying to learn it instead of just pushing the funny button or the cool looking move over and over. It's hard because that is a lot of like frame data stuff that you have to memorize, and then there's a lot of characters, and then you have to remember combo routes, and then for someone like me who is new to the game, there's a lot of stuff like hit confirming, where actually reacting to that is pretty hard for me. It's hard, but it's incredibly rewarding when I play with someone like Dume, who also is incredibly new to it, and we're both kind of just learning together, even though it's kind of us just playing the same matchup. It's very fun and rewarding when either of us is like making big moves and actually like, you know, getting strong wins on each other and whatever. It's a lot to learn, and it can be kind of overwhelming. And also because the game is kind of near the end of its lifespan, it's a little bit discouraging, but I still like, I mean, even just like labbing stuff or just like going into training mode and just practicing things, like it just feels fun. It just feels good. Shovel Knight. Put it here. Yeah, I'll put it there. It's a good game. It's just I've already done everything, so kind of playing it again this year is not that much for me. But I think the King Knight campaign, it was a treasure trove, right? I think it was overall pretty cool. It's just I think some stuff at the end was a little bit frustrating to me. I think the Spectre Knights story is cool, both gameplay and like narrative wise. It's pretty cool. Plague Knight, not very fun, kind of annoying. And then Shovel Knight is just good. It's all just a good game. But I've already done all the stuff besides like the challenges and stuff because I can't be bothered, so I don't really care. But it has been pretty enjoyable throughout the ride. I gotta try to finish this video before 2 hours, dude. Anyways, so next we got Skul. I'll also put this here. I played this game. I played a demo of this game too. I don't remember if it was in that same demo thing. I think it was. I think I just saw it and I was like, hey, that looks cool. Now that it's actually released, I'm a little bit disappointed with how things have played out. I actually have not like fully completed a run because I can't be bothered to, because I think a lot of the final area and the final boss is kind of fucking annoying. But I think what the game does differently or uniquely it does it well. But I also think it kind of blows because the way it plays as a roguelite, it's not really mandatory to have to get all the stat upgrades, but the game feels significantly worse when you don't have all the stat upgrades from just playing the same like 3 fucking areas over and over and over and over again. All right. Next we got Slap City. Slap City, baby. This is the one time I will order it like that. What's about? I don't have to say anything. It's fucking Slap City. Just fucking best feeling platform fighter, and to me, and I wish it did a lot better, but Ludosity doesn't like doing advertisements for their games or getting people to do ads for their games. I think it offline. It feels so much better to play it offline. I mean, it goes without saying, but it just feels so good offline when you're stuck with the shackles of fucking net delay based netcode. It will always have a special place in my heart. Next we have Smite. Also put this up here. Listen, bro, I've been playing Smite since like season 3. I'm always gonna love this game, dude. It's fun. It feels satisfying to do things. There's a lot of characters I like. There are some characters I fucking hate. I think even though it kind of loops in the meta with like what things are good and which characters are good, it kind of does loop sometimes. But I always enjoy watching Worlds at the end of every season, and I always like hopping on once in a while with people that have or have not played much Smite at all, and just fucking around in some arenas or jousts or even conquests and whatever. Sometimes I get particularly motivated with the game and I go on a ranked grind, and for better for worse I do that. It's great. I always will love this game. And we got Spelunky 1. Wait, did I put Spelunky 2 on my list? Shit, I didn't. Oops. Alright, well, Spelunky 1, I'll put it here. I think Spelunky 1 feels extremely good once you get used to the movement and get used to enemies. It's a little bit trial and error in some areas for the first few times, but that's fine. And I think both of the... I just think it's a very rewarding game. It feels very rewarding when you're doing well or you just win a fucking run. And I think the hell ending is pretty lit. It's I think the final boss is a little bit goofy in terms of difficulty, but the game can be incredibly hard sometimes. It's just fun. It's very easy. Not easy. It's simple but also hard. Pogostuck. Jesus Christ. This is a game that also I have a strong love-hate relationship with. I did say that I would beat map 2 before map 3 drops, and I did do that. That was probably the most frustrated I had ever been in a pretty long time. Jesus fucking Christ. So the thing is with the game is that when you fall, it's the worst game on earth. But when you're progressing or you're climbing back up and you're doing something that you were stuck on earlier so easily, it's like, damn, this game feels so good. It's so fucking good. It goes so back and forth between being amazing and fucking horseshit. But I like that. And I think it's a test of perseverance with putting up with bullshit. And a lot of people do not like to do that. But I think with some games like this, I do like to do that. Even though it makes me an incredibly miserable person in the moment when I'm on the game. Next, we got Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, or I'm just going to refer to it as Tab G. Also, for Spelunky 2, really quick, imagine I put it in D. I don't like any of the new things that they introduced to the game. And I think it feels slower, so it's less fun. Okay, so Tab G. I'm also gonna put this in D. I don't know. It's like it's funny. I like what it does, but aiming is pretty frustrating. But I like the second chance stuff with when you die. I think I think there's a lot of guns that are just fucking hilariously broken, and I think it's pretty cool. But I think the aiming can be incredibly frustrating because I mean it's a stupid ass game, right? It's supposed to be stupid, but I sometimes the stupidity gets annoying. Okay. All right. Next we got TF2. I'll put TF2. I'll put it here. I haven't really played it that much in a while. I played it once recently this year because I was talking to an old friend for the first time in a while. But I mean, it's just TF2. It's just a classic. But people that play this game are annoying. And I like the heavy, and the heavy sucks. But he's good in pubs, but he sucks. So it can be kind of annoying. Anyways, next we have Titanfall 2. I'll put this in C as well. I think the game, I guess it's just because of Apex and they just don't give a shit about the game anymore. I played this when it was free for the weekend. And everyone that plays this game is also fucking annoying. They're also very strange because they play the game, and the entire time when they're playing with people that were new, they're like, "Why are you playing this game? It's fucking dead. Just play the other the fucking Apex and whatever." And it's like, well, Apex doesn't have titans and double jumps and wall running and all that. You know, it's not 1-1 the same thing. It's just it's a weird. It's in a very strange spot because there's lack of dev support. Well, not entirely. Like when there's problems, they fix it. Like when there's hacking problems. I don't know. Everyone that plays this game is annoying. It's fun, but everyone that plays this game is fucking annoying. And it kind of sucks playing someone that's better than you and that's actually played the game a lot. All right. Next we got Toontown Rewritten. Put this up here. It's kind of carried by nostalgia. But I think the end game stuff, like the HQs and like the dungeons and stuff, are where the game really shines. But unfortunately, it is a lot of very slowly grinding to level up gags and slowly get your HP up, and then unlocking new gags and leveling those new gags up. But when you're in the end game, when you're able to put up with it and make it to the end game, it's pretty fun. And because this is rewritten, it's not made by Disney anymore. Like, this is just like an independent team still working and updating the game without the Disney characters in it because they would get in trouble for that, I guess. It's pretty cool because they're adding a lot of stuff. They added some kind of thing, I guess relatively recently. It was probably like a year at this point since they added it. But they added some kind of like weird cell bot thing that can happen a lot in the middle of like every area. Like not in the central areas, but like in the streets and stuff. It sounded pretty interesting. I should hop on and try it at some point. Next we got Vagante. I'll also put this in here. Vagante, I haven't played it in a while. I don't even know when I last played it. I mean, it was obviously at some point this year. Oh, it might have been over the summer. But anyways, Vagante is hard. It's pretty hard because you kind of have to high roll sometimes. But also, I mean, when you're able to express the skills that pay the bills, it's very satisfying. It's very fun. Winning runs feels good. Doing the alt path, it's kind of fucking annoying. But the final boss at the end of it is pretty cool. Sometimes you kind of just fucking die in this game, and sometimes you're kind of just dragging your fucking feet with nothing and like no HP left. But I think persevering through those moments and getting big power spikes that you needed is very interesting and it's very fun. And all the classes play very differently, and they're all pretty cool. And there's a lot of cool modding for the game too. I think there's a workshop, but I'm not sure. Now we got Vermintide 2. It feels pretty good, but there's like a lot of DLC characters, DLC campaigns. Kind of can't tell where I'm going with the progression. I also kind of just played the roguelike mode in it with friends when we played. So I don't know. I can't really tell what I'm supposed to be noticing with the gear level ups other than like the passives on gear, but I don't know. I wasn't. It was kind of a flavor of the month thing, kind of like a lot of the games in this tier. And then we got Voidigo. Okay, so in my roguelike thread that I have on Twitter, I hyped the game up pretty hard, and I was like, dude, this could be my game of the year, because I was not expecting Repentance to be this fucking good. But it's pretty good. It's a pretty small dev team, and they're working like from scratch with a lot of shit. Like they're animating everything like frame by frame in their unique style. There's also the main thing with the game is like they don't really, well, there is items, but they're not that impactful. It's mostly just like the weapons, because the weapons are all very unique aside from the lower tier ones, but that's because they're just shitty already, right? They're all pretty cool. Like the really rare ones are all pretty cool. They're really funny too. There's some really cool ones and really funny ones. I just said the same two fucking whatever. It's fun. It's satisfying with using each character's mechanic, because there's a decent amount of characters. I shouldn't say a lot. There's like, I think there's 4. It's very rewarding winning a run. Only thing is that I'm not a very big fan of how they do difficulty scaling, because they kind of just do more HP, I think. And then it's like more damage dealt to you and faster attack patterns, which I think it's kind of boring in that regard. But yeah, it's that. And then for the last game I'll go in depth on, we got Wario World. I'll put it here because I didn't finish it, unfortunately, but it was really fun when I did play. Felt pretty good. I'm surprised that, I guess it's just Nintendo decision making, right? But I'm just surprised that there's not more games like this, really. Alright, and then now, all the games that I have saved here, these are all games that I one and done or did not play for very long at all. Just gonna do like a fucking lightning round because I want to finish this video before it reaches 2 hours. So here we go. Okay. This game could not run. 8GB RAM does not work in modern times. I got bored. I kind of got tired. It's like I want to do everything in this game, but it's hard to. I got bored. I don't know why I haven't played it. I thought the demo was lit at the beginning of the year. I used the grapple once and I thought it felt like shit. I bought this game on Christmas. I played it on Christmas Day and that was it. And I liked it a lot. I just haven't played it enough. This game kind of sucks. This game was just fun that one night, but I don't really give a shit. I played this game once and I just didn't play it again. And there we have it. Well, here it is. I don't think there's anything I would change. I will be posting a screenshot of it on Twitter. I will be posting the video on Twitter alongside it. If you watched all the way through, I hope you enjoyed listening to my incoherent rambling and me having a lot of the same mannerisms. It's cool. It's fun. It was a lot of fun to do, and I'm very glad I got to do this. I stole this idea from Zaro, who don't know is a top Rivals player. I saw him post his tier list for every game he played in 2020, and I was like, damn, that's really cool. I want to do that. And then I kind of forgot a lot of the games that I played in 2020 that weren't on Steam, so I was like, I'll do it in 2021. So there we are. Thank you for watching, and that'll be it. Goodbye.